weeks.
Is that right?
Yep.
And we can't get rid of this one we got going on here. This thunder tropical storm.
Yep.
It's just laying there, Mitch.
Yeah, I know it. And I looked this morning, and it was headed back south a little bit for a while. It actually was headed.
God, I wish it would go already.
I know.
Just showing him it's 95% humidity here right now and 80 degrees.
Ridiculous. I went to the bank today, and on the way back from the bank, well, when I left for the bank, the sun was shining, the wind had died. I said, "Holy, this is great!" I said, "As soon as I get back from the bank, I'm going to jump and go flying somewhere." Okay, so no sooner do I get back from the bank than the wind kicks up to 30, the skies open up, thunderstorms.
Unbelievable.
Hey, Rick Halbert.
We got Bob Casey. We got Rick. I'm just popping out the chat. Jody, drone shots. Brent is here. I think he's
waiting.
How you doing, guys? Art, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Signed up for more overtime on Saturday.
Good for you.
Yep.
Now, why was your company closed when it closed? What was the pretense of the COVID angle?
Oh, that was because the city of Denver pretty much shut down the city. They had like a 50%, only half staff can work.
And you all have to stay 6 feet apart or something? Or no? I don't know. But the only reason I ask is because, I don't know, Biden said he was going to bring that back, where we all have to wear masks. I don't know anything more than you do.
Our governor just extended the mask mandate another 30 days.
Hey, they shut down England again. All the drone guys in England, they're all crying now. This poor Andy RC guy, he's going to commit suicide. He's ready. He's ready to kill himself. Yeah. I mean, it's not funny. But,
no. Well, and it's going to hurt the company I work for because we sell a lot of products to Europe. If they close down, that's pretty much going to slow down our production. We get about 40% of our income from foreign dealers.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we got a vaccine now. Yeah. As soon as the elections in Georgia are done with, and they can't use this COVID crap anymore, it'll disappear. We all thought it was going to disappear on November the 4th, but we still have some elections that they still need to make sure they can have their write-in ballots for, and they have an excuse for that. So, just go through it. It's a good, you know what, I am on a no TV, no TV. Internet, no radio moratorium. I don't know what the hell.
Internet.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to know what's going on. I don't want to see fake news on TV. The guy has not been elected yet. It is not official yet.
It's not official.
The fraud is, from what I've seen, is monumental from everywhere. So let's just hope. Race. Let's hope for the first time in the history of the world, we got somebody up there that ain't going to just roll over.
Yes.
He hasn't rolled over in 4 years on all this crap they've been throwing at him.
No.
But nobody has been elected. And as far as I'm concerned, these goddamn media outlets can declare anybody in the world they want to be the winner. That is not how our country works. And I'm done with Fox. I was done with all of them, but I'm done with Fox now too. Period.
Done with them.
I am. I'm finished with them. I have canceled my Facebook, Twitter, and I'm about ready to disappear from YouTube as well, because that's Google. And to support these people is supporting the overthrow of our country. And the evidence is out there. And yet everybody I know that's got a Facebook page says, "Oh, I can't stop my Facebook because that's the only way I can communicate with my friends." Well, don't they have us all by the balls?
Well, come on over to MeWe.
I thought,
Parler.
Yeah, but Parler's got its own agenda. I was reading.
They all do.
Yeah. I was watching. Mitch, you would think Art would want to talk about this because he has a friggin' political show, but all he's doing is making fun of it. But you sit there and I'm watching 60 Minutes with Leslie Stahl on YouTube. They never get an answer out of these guys. What's Biden going to do? His whole big thing was he's going to go rah, rah, rah with COVID. The man won't say what he's going to do.
He doesn't. He has no idea.
Absolutely.
He's adamant.
I'm going to gather a panel. Oh, that's not been done.
Yeah, he's gone. And another thing, it's a good news. The good news for us in Florida is that Ron DeSantis is not going to take his marching orders from Joe Biden. Yeah. Every Democrat governor in the country is going to take their marching orders from Joe Biden, but the good Republican governors won't. So, all I can say is all you people in all those states that are suffering, and you've elected these criminals to run your states. Good luck to you all. Yeah. You're welcome to move to Florida. You're welcome to move to Texas, but leave your goddamn politics at home when you move down here.
Assimilate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Move here because of what we are. Don't come down here and say, "Well, we're gonna change Florida blue." Yeah.
I told you I left New York for a reason.
Yeah. Well. Yep. Look at what they've done to Arizona, Colorado, all those places from California. Mm-hmm. And look at what New York's done to South Florida.
You know, the company I worked for, prior to the new owners buying the company, the previous owners sold the property. So now we're going to have to move sometime after the first of the year, or at least look for other places to go. And they didn't say they were going to stay in Colorado because they changed the name from Rocky Mountain Orthodontics. It's now called Ortho America Holdings LLC.
Well, you may be living in Texas before you know.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
You'd be better off too. You'd be better
Florida.
You'd be better off in Texas or Florida.
I don't get the fact that, like Dante says here, they're still making ballots, but I heard that some states still count ballots after the 3rd.
Well, there is so much. I mean, and all I've gathered is pretty much from the thumbnails of some YouTube videos, which I refuse to watch, but just from gathering a little information. You've got in Philadelphia over 400,000 potential phony ballots. You've got poll watchers who said that entire reams and stacks of ballots were 100% Biden. And in every one of those ballots, there was no down ballot votes, not a single one. In other words, 100,000 ballots that just say Biden, but no vote for any of those senators or anybody. Yeah, they're coming off of goddamn Heidelberg printing presses, these things,
Now, I saw the instance that is true because it was happening during the election, that the supercomputer called Hammer and the program that runs it called Scorecard were actually used to see how many votes that Biden needed. You got to remember, on Tuesday, Trump was winning.
Oh, he had it won, and he did win it. Look, there's no doubt in my mind that Trump won this election. Now, that doesn't mean they won't be able to steal it because they're slime balls. But I have no doubt that Trump won the election. Okay? There's no doubt in my mind that he won Pennsylvania, he won Georgia, he won Arizona, and a lot of these other places that they managed to scrape up one more than the number of votes that they needed. What a coincidence.
Right. If you trust Lou Dobbs, who
I don't
always
trust any of them anymore. None of them.
I don't know. He had two guys on there. One was this woman talking about that Hammer program, and the other guy was talking about how mysteriously 800,000 votes were found, like you're talking about, for Biden in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. How about this Dominion software company out of Canada?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, man.
Their software is running on 33 states' voting machines.
Yep. Same.
Who is it that owns part of their company? Some big liberal somebody is a stockholder or on the board of directors of this Dominion company. They found one precinct. They found that this software changed 6,000 Trump votes to Biden votes.
Yeah,
Christ.
that was in Michigan.
That's in Michigan. This software all by itself changed 6,000 votes for Trump into 6,000 votes for Biden, and it almost wasn't caught. It wasn't. Some poll worker said, this doesn't seem right.
Right.
And looked into it and found it. Now, here's this software out of Canada, owned by friggin' liberal activists, running on 33 states. And I will bet you $1 that every one of those 33 states is a blue state, not a red state, that software is running on.
You heard about this too, Art?
Oh yeah, I heard about.
Yeah, and that's 12.
Software,
6,000 votes from one to the other is a 12,000 vote spread.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
That's it. I got to tell you, it's unfriggin' believable. And yet you go on the media and you turn on TV and all you see is the Electoral College score. Biden 294, Trump 260.
Which never changed.
That's brainwashing. They did that on election night.
How did that number never change for Trump, but it changed for Biden?
Nobody won this election yet. This election has not been certified. CNN, Fox News, and none of these people are the ones that certify an election. Each state has to certify their own election, and these friggin' lawsuits are going to be flying, and we're not going to know who won this election for a long time. So buckle up, people, but don't go obeying Joe Biden's laws quite yet. Just don't do it. And with that, I'm gonna beg on out. I just came in to say hi, and look what happened. Look what happened.
Hey, Mitch. Mitch, wait a minute. I don't know if you use any software for editing, but have you seen Davinci Resolve 17? Have you seen the change? Oh my God, the changes they're making are insanely good.
Is it?
I was looking at buying a program called Noob, Nobe, which is a color remapping program. Let me show that for a second if I can. And it's there it is right there. The price of this program is like $200 or $300, but you see the spider web, which you can hardly see. You take the spider web, it's a color remapper. You can sit there and pick out somebody's pair of pants. All right, you see the price, $100 or $200.
Sure, yeah.
And in this spider web, you sit there, you pick on the color of the pants, and that will light up in there, and you can automatically remap it. So in other words, you can automatically just change the color of the pants by touching. And so what has Davinci Resolve done? They went and added it in here, and only they call it a warp, a color warp.
Wow, cool.
But what you do is you click on one of these dots, right, to isolate, because you don't want to change everything else. You just want to change the color of the water, because, the biggest problem with me is our water is not blue and our water is not green. It's a funky color in that Indian River.
Yeah.
It's the color of brine, is what they call it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It is horrible.
Yeah.
And so hard to work with in actual video. And I was thinking of buying that other program, and here they are adding it to Davinci Resolve 17, which I believe this will also be in the free version.
Well, try it out and see how that works. Yeah. See if you can use it and make it look natural.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways to do that in all editing programs. You can do it in Photoshop too. You can do it. You can do it with masking. You can do with all kinds of things. The problem with video is stuff is moving around, so it's better to do it if you can identify certain colors.
Exactly.
But the colors, as they move around and the light changes, the colors are going to change as well. So you're going to have to identify those areas with certain color tolerances.
Yeah, it'll let you. You see there, I don't know if they're showing it there on the right-hand side. That's really just a timeline, because you can change the fine details. Okay, it does have chrominance. I think they're trying to show everything in one file here. It's not really what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Let me see this one. They added the HDR color wheels because P3 D60, which was really meant for the movie theaters, Digital Cinema Incentive or Initiative, DCI P3 Protocol 3. But it's being used by every HDR TV, so you might as well color to it. But this just makes it easier than hell to do what I've been fighting to do all this time.
Right.
Or you could just buy a Mini 2 and throw it into auto and go up there and shoot your little heart out.
Yeah, but it's still only 8-bit.
I know, but it still doesn't look bad.
No, you know something? You're right. You put it in perspective.
Yeah.
Everything to what you want.
Yeah.
If that's good enough for you, perfect.
Yeah, and see, for me, I honestly have no use for any of this, Jim. Not that it doesn't have value, but I'm not doing commercial publications, 10-bit stuff, movie theater stuff. I'm shooting stuff to look at myself and pop up on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's not an interest that I understand basic color grading, and sometimes I'll make something, pop it up a little bit and all that. But I do the same with photographs. Have you ever seen the length that some of these professional photographers go through to prepare a photograph for a printer to be printed on paper?
Unbelievable ICCs, yes.
Unbelievable that color science that they have to go through, and the tweaking, and they're in there. And I mean, the results are gorgeous, but they get photographs that look like they come from Disney, with the colors all popping in certain places instead of colors that look like what you see when you look out on the world with your own eyes.
Right.
So it all depends what your motives are, I suppose.
It just makes it a hell of a lot easier to do what I was.
Right. Well, try it. They get a free trial, don't they?
I own it. Yeah.
You already own it. Oh, well. Let us know if you figure it out.
Well, something I haven't never figured out. Matter of fact, I think it was you that taught me what the hell audio ducking was.
Oh, ducking, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
quack, quack.
Yeah, ducking. The word duck has two meanings. Duck means
duck to a doorway.
Go down, climb under something. The other thing is a white bird that floats.
What I like about this Fairlight program now is if you put your audio voiceover layer on top of the music layer, it's automatically going to do the voice ducking for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Photoshop, Premiere Pro does that. You just have to manually initiate it. You have to go in and you identify the which track is music, which track is dialogue, and then you hit a button that just says go, and it'll go ahead and it'll do the whole track. But if you make any changes to the track, edit it, shuffle the editing around after you've done that. You have to go back and rerun that routine to reduck it. Otherwise,
I was watching that where you can disconnect the audio from the video file so that you can make your video cuts.
You can do that, but you got to be careful, because if you cut one and not the other, and then move it closer, then you're going to lose your audio sync. So you got to keep the two of those. I always found it's
Captain Ray. Hello.
Howdy, Jim. All right, Mitch.
Good to see you.
Good to
you always
see
found it's what, Mitch?
Jim, you do your main cuts. If I know what you're talking about, you want to lead a video clip with the audio from it while you're still showing the. You want to, for example, you're showing something. You start talking, but you don't want to show yourself talking. You want to just bring the audio in. You want to lead. Okay. So what I do, and that would require that you unlink the audio track from the video. So what I do if I'm using a feature like that is I will edit the entire clip with the audio linked to the video so that I never lose sync. And the last thing I do is go in and unlink the audio tracks that I want to do that with, and then just move the start and stop points on them after I've unlinked them. But I do that after I've got it cut, so that I don't, it's too much to keep track of when you start unlinking these tracks from each other. You'll lose the timeline real quick by accident. You won't know which ones to cut and which ones not to. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I do, yeah. Because that was one of the things. The song is longer than the video. Where do I want to make the break? Or, it sounds stupid if you just cut it at the end of your video and then lower the volume down.
Yeah, well, you can do that. What I generally do is I always place video starting with where it ends. I would rather have the audio end where I want it to end than start where I want it to start. You understand?
Right.
In other words, I want the audio to be right there when the picture cuts off. The audio has just finished presenting. It fits in at the end, and then I would, if I want the entire audio thing in, I'll start adjusting the length of whatever video I'm putting in to match the length of the song I'm using, so that it starts when I want it to and ends when I want it to. Or you just fade it out at the end.
This one also lets you go through, and if you touch on a transition, it'll actually show you what the transition does ahead of it doing it. So you can see each transition will actually play over your video before you put it in. You get to pick through your transitions. It was a guessing game before.
Yeah, you had to know what they were. And I use three. Actually, I use one or two video transitions, period. Crossfade. I use crossfades. Or fade to black. Crossfade or fade to black. That's it. I don't ever use one of these fancy spin in from the right, spin in from the left, turn into a zebra and then turn into, I don't ever use any of that stuff. You don't ever see them
fancy schmancy.
You don't ever see them on TV unless it's some shtick in a DC Comics type of thing where Superman goes pow, or Batman,
Hi, Jody.
This is JRTV. He plays with that mapper, and he just shows you how when he qualifies, right? He uses the little dropper, which people don't even know is a dropper anymore. Yes, kids, when we were kids, those things were in your Tinacure, in your iodine droppers.
Yes, they were. Yep. Eye drops, too.
Now they call it a picker. Anyway, if he picks the color of the grass, he can use that, what I call spider web, to sit there and identify that color and then remap it. Like right there. He can sit there and bend the color and have it change to any shade of green he likes. And then if you hit P, it goes into full viewer mode. And you see here, he's playing with the color. I want to kind of show that for a second. This is JRTV. That's his name. I don't know. Where does he do it? Come on, you were just on the color of the grass.
Hello, Rick.
Yeah, Michael Blake, Rick Halber's here. Bob Drum Days, Marty, how you doing? Jody. All the usual suspects. Brent Nunley. What happened to Brent? I thought he was in the...
His mic crashed.
Oh, shit. Hot Rod Daytona's here. How you doing? Another neighbor of ours. Jim?
We got the coastline sewn up.
Peter Carroll. Michael McReynolds. How you doing?
Ray's got that Democratic South end of us.
I know. I'm outnumbered down there.
Oh my God! I'd hate to hear bar conversations around there. Is that You're not in Miami-Dade. Are you in the one above it?
Palm Beach. I'm in Palm Beach.
Palm
County.
Beach County. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
They're not as bad.
Not as bad, but they're still way liberal compared to like the villages.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah, I wanted to show that. That's some incredible stuff that you get for free.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
You're talking about editing, obviously.
Yeah, and more so, I've been playing with that high dynamic resolution and fighting with it, let me say, because I go between the TV, which wants to stay in Rec 709 for the average TV show, which is based back on a 1931 color space. They did some kind of study what the human eye can see color-wise.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, the human eye in 1930 was working on exactly the same color space as it is today.
Yet they upgraded it in 1976. And then what the hell did... Oh, because the Rec 2020 color space is larger than any TV can do right now. So that's why they call it DCI P3, Digital Cinema Initiative Protocol 3. It's what they play in the movie theaters. So our TVs today can run that.
You mean that's what they used to play in movie theaters when they were actually showing movies in movie theaters, which they aren't doing too much now.
Yep. I think those are going away. I think people are used to saying, just like Netflix or downloading the movie they want instead of going out to a crowded theater and especially those that are like the new germaphobes that are like, oh my God, I can't. Oh, he's not wearing a mask.
Meanwhile, I went into the convenience store up the street last night. I wore a mask. I wear a mask just so I don't have to, listen to anyone. Meanwhile, there was 20, 30 people in there, younger people. Not a single one of them had a mask on.
Right.
I felt like a friggin' idiot. Me and the employees were wearing masks. All these young kids, they don't give a shit. Yeah. They don't care. They're not going to. They're not going to wear masks. And I went in another store. Another young kid was wearing a mask, and it was covering from her upper lip down and her nose. Yeah.
So it's not a requirement.
You want to look at it, you're a moron. If you're going to wear a mask, wear it over your nose. Otherwise, don't wear the stupid thing.
Mitch and Jim, it's not a requirement to wear a mask in a business down there?
No,
not here. And you know what? They're not. I don't see parades of freezer trucks full of dead bodies either. In fact, I don't see anything in the hospitals or the doctor's offices or anything that's anything out of the normal.
Not here, anyway. And we have 1 million people here. So.
Yeah, and we just basically have disregarded this thing compared to everybody else since almost the beginning. Take minor precautions, if the store says you got to wear a mask, like the big stores, Sam's Club and the grocery stores, you put a mask on. Meanwhile, it's the same friggin' mask I've been wearing since day one.
Right.
It's probably more COVID in that mask than if I wore nothing.
It's funny because I used to see Walmart, these guys with the lawn sprayers on their back, shooting Clorox on all the carts. They don't even do that anymore.
No, nothing. They used to, and Aldi's was cleaning the carts, the handles for you, and giving them to you where you didn't have to put the quarter in and get it, because they have the deal where you put the quarter in, you get the cart, it gives you the quarter back.
Yeah.
Well, for a while they weren't charging, they were just giving now it's back to the good old days.
Is that Aldi? Aldi had that.
Yeah, back to the good old days. Put the quarter in the cart. And nobody down here The restaurants are filling up now. People are sitting in the restaurants. There's no table separations required anymore, up to 100% occupancy.
Listen, I had family members lose their job because of COVID when in the restaurant business, when that started with the close downs.
Yep.
Like, Jason's Deli in Melbourne is like a huge deli in New York, Ray. They do a lot of business, blah, blah, blah. Okay. They got the salad bar. All the employees were let go.
Yep.
And if we're not careful and we let these politicians engineer another one of these things so they can take more freedoms and everything else away from us.
Mm-hmm. As much as I hate to say this, you guys are in trouble because us New Yorkers, us snowbirds, from Canada, New York, up north, we're all coming down.
Michigan.
You're all coming. Yeah. But,
I don't care.
You were all here when it started.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was in Vegas in January when we were all supposed to die. No one was sick, and I'm still not sick, so I guess I'm not going to die. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And another thing is this fake. The numbers are fake. The numbers are phony. Mm-hmm. Honest to God, this thing, if you look at if you really dive into the statistics, this thing hasn't been much worse than a bad flu season as far as deaths. Most of the people that died from this were ready to die anyway.
Mm-hmm. Michael Blade in the chat is saying Rhode Island is on lockdown again.
Yeah, of course they are. Any state that's got liberal leadership loves the lockdowns. Just makes more. They have more power. They can tell you what the hell to do. They can levy fines. They can make it dependent out of you when you're when you go out of business. You need them.
And you lose your house because you can't work.
Yeah. Yeah, they love that. That's socialism.
And Hoppower, he's out in Oklahoma. He's saying that the bars are shoulder to shoulder with people, no mask or anything.
No, and right now the only thing the news can say is, record number of cases, Well, look at the deaths. The deaths aren't record number, and we are in the flu season now too. So that's another thing. So some of these quote cases are flu cases.
Yep.
We've never been able to cure the common cold or the flu.
Right. If you can't tell, I'm so tired and so sick of the fraud and deceit and manipulation that's being fostered on the morons in this country that believe any of this shit. So I don't want to participate. You reach a point sometimes you get so old you just say, I can't put up with this crap anymore. I'm just dropping out. The hell with everybody.
Just live in your own little world.
Yeah. I'll go fly my airplanes and leave me alone. I don't give a shit about you. And I'm that close.
And that's what most of us do, and that's what turns around and lets the loudmouths win. But anyway, what the hell is MBO? Rick Halber says he worked on MBO for 3 years, and then a couple of the other guys, Mike. This MBO feeder is he
awful?
I don't know what MBO is, guys.
Yeah,
HBO, but not MBO.
Yeah,
I don't know, Jim.
That's Montana's version of HBO.
Jim, what do? What power do you have? You talk to other people and you try to change hearts and minds. Okay. We all end up preaching to the choir when we talk to each other anyway. Okay. The second thing you can do is you can vote. So we all voted. So we vote, and then some crooked software changes my vote to a Biden vote without me knowing it.
Yep. I know it's sad.
And I mean, they've shown it. They have evidence.
It is.
They have evidence. This Dominion company out of Canada had their software in 33 states, and they have now proven that what was it in Michigan or Detroit?
Yeah, it was in Michigan.
6,000 votes, Jim, that were cast for Trump were changed by the software to Biden. Now,
hey, Dan.
Why?
Hey, Dan.
Why bother? Why bother? If we can't be confident enough to know that our votes actually are going to get counted and it's going to matter, then we don't have elections anymore. We have third world country dictators.
We get the military to stand down, let North Korea shoot at us.
Exactly.
Again, it sounds good. Yeah, we'll get together and fly, definitely.
Mhm.
But Mitch and those guys down there, they're going to have a meetup.
Yeah, we're going to
Right,
try
Mitch?
to have. We're going to try to have a meetup.
Even
Where are you, Dan?
Art, I
It's
think
awful
Art's going
dark.
to fly in.
Danny, where are you? It's dark.
You in the garage, Dan?
There's a helicopter going over my head right now. It's kind of circling, so I'm pausing it while he goes
Well,
over.
you're driving. You're in the car. That's where you're.
Yeah, actually at the bar.
Oh, it's a strip club. That's why it's so dark.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah,
Jim,
it's actually so the water's out here. You just can't see it. I'm actually sitting on the pier.
What, Ray?
Okay.
What'd you say, Ray?
I was going to say I got back to Lake Panamoka again today to fly, but it shows you what a small world it is. Last year I had put up my double kayak for sale
Right.
on Facebook Marketplace. A gentleman bought it. Him and his wife came and picked it up. One word led to another, and they told me that they live on Lake Panamoka, and that's where my uncle lived. I told you guys that already.
Yeah.
Right.
So he told me anytime you want to come over, you come over, you kayak here, and make a long story short, he's also a retired detective. Well, he's a detective. He's still active.
Oh, really?
So we even had that bonding experience. So I went over to his house yesterday to buy a challenge coin. I don't know if you guys know what challenge coins
Yes,
are.
we
I
do.
know.
But anyway, I bought a couple from him, and we start talking about drones. And I says, I would like to come back and film. So he said, come back. You film right from my beach right here. And I did. I went back this morning,
Cool.
and we filmed right from his beach and got some good shots. And it was just a great morning.
Ray, it's funny meeting you because in 1981, I got a 90 on the Suffolk County police test.
Wow.
But that's the year that they sued and said I was the wrong color.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah. And then it became a lottery type of thing?
Yeah. And the white guy went and got another job. So
Right. That's too bad.
that's what happened. Well, we would have been buddies. I'd have been out of the force anyway. I'd have hoped. Oh, man. We used to play. Have you been to the Nisqually River at all?
Well, years ago I went down there, but I haven't been there recently. Beautiful.
It opens up to the Long Island Sound, which is, the Atlantic Ocean or whatever. But that low tide, all the mussels are there. We used to eat all that stuff. You could eat all the mussels, all the clams. You could eat your fill.
They say that's a good another good place to kayak and fly a drone.
Oh, it's great for
It's on my
kayaking.
list for next year when I get back.
Really great. We had a couple of boat clubs. There was one at the state hospital, the Nisqually Yacht Club. Gone. And 810 acres of the Kingsport Psychiatric Center are gone.
Right.
10,000 patients got cured of mental health disease.
Wow. Yeah, wonderful.
They were instantly cured and let go, and the buildings were torn down. I'm surprised that it's not an apartment complex yet, but it will be.
Right.
Big dumb
You
helicopter.
got any snow out there in Colorado yet, Art?
Yeah, we had snow yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yesterday and last night, and I had a lot of fun trying to open my car door, and it was frozen shut. So I had to run back in, find an empty pop bottle, filled up with hot water, and pour it around the edge of the door, and then just rock it back and forth until it finally popped open.
You know what I found works magic for that? Rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle.
Yep.
Couple squirts, dude, it just goes right through like butter.
Yeah, thinking about it, sure.
I've done some dumb things in my day. Ray, I took the water hose from the hot water heater of the house and washed my car. Bad move. It turns the front yard into a friggin' ice skating skate. Yeah. Yes. And the mailman refused to deliver the mail until it melted. What an idiot. I didn't even think. You know, that's going to freeze up in about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought about it. Oh, funny as hell, though. Well, to me.
Dan, what body of water are you on there?
This is well, you guys see me fly this all the time. This is Hillsboro River. I don't know if you can see it right now, but
are you sitting up there on the causeway or downtown? Are you downtown?
No, so downtown. I don't know if you guys can see that, but
I know where you are.
Yeah, downtown would. So the 40th Street Bridge is over here to my right.
Yeah, you're at the riverfront there.
Yeah, so this is Hillsboro River. This is where I used to put the RC boats in and tear it up out here and have fun.
That's a pretty area, pretty nice section of Tampa.
It is. It is. We've been working on that pontoon boat. I don't know if you guys can see that. We've been working on that pontoon boat for this bar forever. But yeah, we finally got it up and working. We're going to start taking it out and having some fun. So
I love those pontoon boats, man. It's nothing but a party.
Well, we got two of them. That's the drag behind rig, if you guys can see that.
Not
and then,
really.
so that's the party. Yeah, I know. That's the party rig in front of me, and then that one over there is the towboat. So
it's like you're towing a barge type of thing.
Yeah,
okay,
basically.
See your face anyway.
Yeah. So you basically just fill the party one up with beer and a bartender, and then you just drag them around the lake, and everybody gets S-faced. And you just cruise up and down with your banner on it and all the lights telling everybody to go to Bigfoot on the river. So, yeah, there's not much light out here. I think that's the only real light out here other than the Christmas lights.
Kayaking, you can do that down here. And what's nice about it is the dolphins come up and play next to you. And so, you can rub their backs and stuff. There's a place called something John's over there on off of A1A there, Mitch, in Melbourne Beach. It's in like a little cove, and you can sit there, rent the kayaks, and just go on out, and the dolphins are all around you. And
well, you can go up to Mosquito Lagoon, which is north of the Space Center. That's a tremendous place to go kayaking up there. I used to, when I lived on the Intercoastal, I used to just go right out of my backyard, and the Intercoastal was 1 mile wide there where I lived.
Is that by the bridge where Sea Ray used to be, the boat company?
No, way south of that.
Okay.
About 5 miles north of the Pineda Causeway.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So, halfway between the Pineda Causeway and Cocoa and Route 520 and Cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
About halfway. Art's going like he knows.
Now we can see you, Dan.
Very intimately. Yeah. Art, we love you because you're the most agreeable guy we know. You just agree with everything. You go, yeah.
Unless you're talking about DJI, then I'm like,
yeah.
What? What the heck? Do you know?
75 goes right up to Detroit, and let's see, there's US 127, I think, goes from Michigan down to Florida.
127 or 27?
127.
We got a 27.
We got a 27.
Oh, 27. Okay, that's the one that
goes right down through the middle of the state.
Yeah,
hey, Dan, how's the weather over there? You're probably getting more of this nonsense than we are. On and off, on and off, on and off.
Well, I mean, it's really not that bad. I can put up my so that's not really an issue. But it's GPS. I can't fly. I sold my Mavic Mini yesterday. I got tired of it. I'm just like, this thing just isn't going to fly. Florida's not a great place for the Mavic Mini.
Did you get the 2, the new one?
Hell no, and I'm not going to. Not at that price point. Hell, I could buy a more capable drone for $200 more. It's like, why would you do that to yourself?
I got one and took it back the next day.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impressive enough for me to be like, yeah, it's worth almost $600. Sorry.
Yeah, it was more than by the time you get done with the tax and everything. $641 for the flyboard kit.
Yeah, it's like for that I could buy a really decent drone already that's larger, that can handle more and do more stuff. I mean, If you need it out of necessity, then go for it. I made a whole stream about it. I was like, I'm not gonna get it. It's not. I'll test somebody else's when they buy it, and do a review of it. But I'm not impressed enough to be like, oh, I have to have this.
It worked pretty good, but it still has a few issues, like most brand new DJI products when they come out.
Well, my biggest concern is that a bunch of kids are going to buy it, and now LOS doesn't mean anything to them. They're just going to,
right?
It's like that's my scariest thing is now you got a bunch of teens out there with these stupid things that are going to be doing all sorts of craziness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't even know what line of sight is, nor do they care.
No,
right.
They don't care.
So,
Dan, did you have problems with it fighting the wind? Did you have problems with it fighting the wind?
My original one?
Yes.
Not in sport mode. If you put it in sport mode, it would do all right. I found that when I got down to about 48% battery, then it would really start hulking in the wind pretty bad. Like, I don't know. But for the most part, it didn't really do too bad. So on windy days, I'd never fly it past 50%.
And that's a lot of days here in Florida.
Right, and that's why I said it became a shelf item. I mean, it was a beauty queen sitting on my shelf. For what reason? Well, I barely fly it. The restrictions here have gotten so crazy. Where do you fly? Tampa is just a big, no-fly zone at this point. It's not even worth putting up. I'd rather own open-source products that'll just do what I tell them to than worry about whether DJI is going to stop me.
Yeah, and that's the problem with that thing is it has the geofencing from DJI. Right. Yeah.
That little thing at 249 grams has the geofencing?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Fly app has
I was going to say it's the app that does it to you. And they constantly want you to update. If you didn't update, then they wouldn't let you fly. It was like, oh, you need to download the new No Fly Zone app. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Well, sorry, you can't fly.
What's What's that other app that you were talking about? Drone something?
Yeah, it's a for me, it's a comparison. There's Rainbow, Drone Link, and Litchi.
Drone Link is the one I'm talking about.
Listen, man, Drone Link is not for the average pilot. That's some very advanced SDK stuff, man. I was having fun with it, but it was like, dude, nobody's going to get into this. Like, you would have to be using this for professional work to really enjoy it like you want to. I mean, that was the idea, is that they were trying to set it up. It wasn't just like a waypoint thing. They wanted to do like preset missions for areas that you could download from somebody else's subfolder or whatever they had, the you know what I'm saying, where you could create a thing and then other people could download. Like, I didn't see the point. It was like Litchi's offering you all those things now if you already own it for free. I've had Litchi since the Phantom 3, so it's like I applied for their beta. So if you guys have the Mavic Mini, then you can apply to use it as beta. Just go to the website, give them your email address. They'll make sure you bought it, and then after 24 hours, your Litchi app will automatically update, and then you'll get a whole bunch of new features for the original Mini that you didn't have before. Now, some of those are in beta. Like I said, you take on the risk of beta testing. But, I started messing with it, and I was like, man, I don't have a place for this drone in my league of stuff. It's just underpowered, and it doesn't, it barely ever flies. So I sold it. There was no point in keeping it.
That's why I was worried about people doing these range tests with a 249-gram item,
I'm still worried about it.
And Mitch pointed out that, because I was saying, how the hell did they keep the same 249 grams? And we found out that they changed the batteries to LiPo.
They went from lithium ion to LiPo.
Yeah, they had no choice. I'm going to go ahead and assume they probably have a lower C rating for efficiency reasons. If they're trying to do what Lionel packs do or lithium ion, then they're going to definitely have to go with a lower C rating. So it's not going to have as much power.
They went the other way. They went the other way. The first Mini, it turns out, has the lithium ions, and
that's what I was saying.
They went to LiPos in the second one because they're lighter weight.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. But the difference is for efficiency reasons. I'm guessing that the new batteries that they have for the second version have a lower C rating. They don't need all that extra discharge capacity.
They're lower density, yes.
Yeah, 20C probably, I would imagine.
Or 10C. Hell, the 3DR Solo had a 10C battery. It was a 14.8 volt. So I think if they're looking for that endurance, then they went with a lower C rating.
I didn't think they thought anybody was going to notice.
Wow.
Because they added that OcuSync 2 and what they say, 31 minutes flight time?
Yeah, that's what they said. I got 23 3 to 25 minutes out of it, and it was forced land. It was ready. You know, it wouldn't stay up anymore.
Well,
but it was windy, so it was fighting the wind the whole time that I was flying it.
You know, next time you do a test, oh, you took it back. Never mind. If anybody does a future test, there's 2 ways to test it. Number 1, on the exact same day, battery pack to battery pack, and then take it out and constantly keep it under motion, half throttle, right, or half pitch, and just cruise around the entire time and see what your battery flight is. And then when you do your second one, just do a hover test on, whatever. See what your battery time is, and then take it out on a windy day. And I think you'll see a major difference. If you keep it under a directional path, you'll probably conserve a lot more battery. It's relying on a lot less sensors. So there's should be a major difference in hover. I can't even think of all 3. Sorry, man, my brain's fried right now.
Sport mode, position mode, and
you could do all that, but I'm saying if you're keeping it as a controlled test, try to make sure all 3 versions of your test are on the same day, same conditions, and then do it. I guarantee keeping it under a directional path at half pitch will probably guarantee you the most battery life. So it'd be interesting to see, Mitch, if you hadn't gotten rid of it, if you flew around the entire time without stopping, if you actually managed to come into that like 28 to 31 minute range,
Well, I flew a whole flight where I just kept going.
Right.
I hardly ever stopped. Then I got 25 minutes out of it. You know what?
That's not bad. On a windy day?
Yeah, that's adequate. This business about, I'm going to sell mine that has 30 minutes and buy this new one because it's 31 minutes. That's crazy. You're fooling yourself.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It is. Usually you get tired of, you usually go 15 minutes and say, all right, I'm bored. What's next?
Yeah. Hey. Ray, do you have problems with the wind up there at all on Long Island?
No, not that much. I mean, of course, a day here and a day there.
Yeah.
But the past 3 days have been gorgeous. Spring days, 70, 74, broke records yesterday.
What are they doing about MacArthur Airport, which is in the center of friggin' Long Island? Does that affect you at all?
No, not really. No, I'm out of the radius. You got that radius, and I'm out. And but an interesting thing that you're bringing up airports. I did get my first Lance approval on Saturday morning. I went out to Sag Harbor to film the windmill and the sunrise, and I completely forgot about East Hampton Airport, and we were in that range.
Yeah.
But I did the Lance app and Air Map, and I got the Lance approval, and I was able to fly for my hour. I said I was going to fly for an hour or so, and it was so easy. I was shocked how easy it was to get the approval.
It really is. And, I think there's something interesting coming with these new Mini 2. Just because the thing doesn't have to be registered doesn't mean you don't have to obey the drone laws.
Right.
Okay. Yep. Doesn't mean that you can fly it anywhere you want. The only difference is you don't have to pay $5 and register it. Other than that, there's no difference in operating it from a bigger drone. So how many of these people who see this advertising, the no FAA registration required, and who don't know anything about drones are going to take that to mean that they can fly it any friggin' place they want?
That was my concern, man. The LOS and just not understanding the laws.
Not only that, but these things are going to be swarming in places where they don't belong now, and they're going to create problems for the entire serious drone community.
Well, and that's why I like that the original Mini was Wi-Fi, because if you take it through your neighborhood or your town or city, you barely get range, man. You're talking like, and that was nice because it kept pilots close. But now you got kids out there with OcuSync 2.0 on a 249 gram. They're going to take that thing all across town and just, it's like, no, man.
I hate to disagree with you guys, but I do have to stick up for the Mini. I really do. I think it's a nice little drone, entry-level drone, and not everybody's going to fly like a jerk,
Well, we're not saying
it's a good way to get people involved and starting into the hobby. And
sure. Ray, understand, I'm not saying that it's a bad drone. I'm just saying now they've given people the tools that don't understand, right? a bad thing. If they're not going to go do research.
To be honest with you, Dan, it's the same thing with FPV. They could get into FPV and disregard rules too.
Well, but and now here's my thing with that, and this is what we're fighting for with Tyler Brenner, the guy that does RDQ, right? He's saying that we barely ever even go above the trees. Like, it's not like we're out taking these things extremely high in the air. Most of us fly extremely close to the ground. We're not. The only people that would really have to stress that is like long-range FPV flyers that build like, you know, these massive beast rigs that go really long. Those are the only guys that are really going to be interfering with anything. Most of us fly so close to the ground, it just doesn't matter. We're sticking to a small field and just cruising, you know?
Yeah, so we don't see too much airline traffic. We don't see too much airline traffic down around where we're flying FPV drones.
We're not messing with any kind of air traffic at all, almost. You know,
occasional helicopter will come by.
Yeah.
You'll hear that thing coming long before it gets near you.
So I mean, the argument is valid on both sides, man. I hear it. I think FPV is falling into a category where it can't be placed like GPS because they're not doing the same things. You know,
FPV is taking over the world.
Well, and it's happening really slowly, but it is.
Isn't it funny though, Dan?
More popular.
The more people get tired of the restrictions of DJI, the more they get scared of remote ID. You go into open source.
Open source. Yep, this is what I've been trying to tell her. That's why every time I see somebody buy a restricted drone, like Al Diaz made his post, and I was being nice. I went there, I'm like, oh man. Another person just purchased another drone with restrictions. It's not that we're out to break the rules. It's just once you come to an understanding of the rules, I can be 2.5 miles away from an airport and not mess with anybody or anything they have going on over there. Right. You know what I'm saying? It just comes down to common sense. That's really what it is. You know, I don't think it's necessary to be 5 miles away from an airport. You know, most of the time, by the time a plane takes off or a jet, by then they're way up in the air. I mean, they're not even in your field of flight at an altitude that's even going to bother you. It's stupid people that don't understand the rules that end up getting all of us in trouble. So I think
you know how many AMA club fields in this country are actually situated on airport property?
Right.
I've been a member of 2 different ones already in my life. One of them in DeLand, Florida, and they're usually out at the end, the last 1,000 feet of a cross runway that's never used.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're flying out there, you know, you remember the club, you know, you don't go further south than that far, or you don't ever go down near where the runway, and the airplanes fly in and out all day, and the RC guys fly all day, and nothing ever happens.
They have one just south of me in Sebastian, and they have one in Vero. Sebastian is that X-59 airport.
Yeah.
Which Ray, isn't that a recreational airport? Why did you have to get Lank anyway? It's towered?
It's probably got a circle around it on the map.
Because I don't have to get one if I fly around Sebastian's airport, you know, that X-59 airport. It's a recreational airport. So I don't have to get Lank, is what I'm saying.
Well, you know, if DJI, you know, the problem, listen, where I am, according to the lands from Melbourne, it says the ceiling is 400 feet. Okay, as long as I'm below 400 feet. But DJI won't let me go above 200 feet here.
200 feet, yeah.
So DJI basically is giving me half the altitude, and it locks it. So if I were to, it's absurd. Absurd.
Mitch, that's what I'm dealing with here in Tampa. The whole thing's almost become a no-fly zone. So anytime I go up in the air, they're restricting me to an altitude of 200 feet or less, and I'm like, wow, man, I don't understand why that's a thing. I'm not even close to the airport. Why would this affect anything? I don't know, man. I feel like instead of like implementing all this craziness on us, every drone that comes out that has GPS and all that stuff, they just need to implement a test that has to read through and pass, right, before they can fly the drone so they understand the rules.
You used to have that. Remember 2 years ago, DJI used to have to pass the stupid test.
Yes. I think that's good. I think all drone companies should do that. That way it gives the pilot an understanding. You know what I'm saying? If they did that, then there would have to be a lot less restrictions. They wouldn't have to worry about it so much. People would understand the rules and come to common sense on those rules. Anytime there was an update to the test, they would send a notification. Hey, the test has been updated. You're going to receive another questionnaire. Please read through it, answer the questions, then you can fly. You know, it's such a simple process. I don't understand why they're complicating this so much.
Rules are made usually for good reasons. They really are.
Well,
and the FAA has been doing this a long time. I would say they know what they're doing. And I really appreciate drone flyers that follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jaybird Drone, he's constantly on his videos talks about following the rules, and I give the guy a lot of credit.
Yeah, throw myself off a bridge.
Hang in there, Dan.
I guess you don't like Jaybird?
Jaybird is the biggest troll that ever hit the internet. He causes drama in the background of everything just to instigate and then watch it all unfold. Yep. Never.
Well, like I say, I give credit where credit's due, and I treat people the way they treat me. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's a good guy.
But as far as following the rules, I've always been an advocate of a practical test, which I thought should have been implemented because we're going on 5 years now of flying these. And supposedly remote ID is going to be start phased in at the end of December of this year. We'll see. I don't know what shape or form that comes in or looks like. But we all know that if you have a DJI drone, you've got remote ID and unique ID on there already. So we need to see, what they're going to do to us in that form.
Okay, sorry. I had to get that out of my system.
Well, they know where you are, and they can interfere with your signal. Yeah. No, not an FPV, no.
Not even FPV. Even my open source, like Hubson's all open source. They don't mess with it. It doesn't answer to anybody. I could be right next to the airport, push go, and it'll fly. It doesn't matter. That's not answering to Hubson. That's why I said there's these open source drones, man. They're totally different. You start, falling into categories of like Evo and all that kind of stuff, and you start getting all the, the implemented maps with it. You buy a cheap drone with 4K camera from Hubson or somebody like that. There's nothing it's answering to other than the pilot. So I don't know, man.
Do you find that good or overall?
Personally, for me, because I have common sense, I like it. That's me. Would I put up right next to an airport? No. If I'm 2.5, 3 miles away and it's stopping me on my other drone, then it's like, dude, I'm not messing with anybody. Low altitude anyways, I'm going to cruise, get my footage, and I'm done.
I didn't have any problem with the original facilities maps that the FAA put out, because even at our local airport, there was not much that was zero. It was just over the runway that was zero. And on the E airspace where the planes land and take off, naturally, I think you were limited to 100, 200 feet.
Yeah, depending, 0, 100, 200 as you get further away.
Plenty of safety. Yeah, I thought. Yeah. I haven't had a problem.
Hey, Brian.
What's up, Brian?
I don't know, man. It's so easy with an open source drone just to check your air maps where you go out so you have an understanding of where your no-no zones are and then make your flight. I just, like I said, I think it comes down to just common sense. And the problem is enough people don't really have it, so they do stupid stuff.
I worry more about the wind and the wind at the 200 feet I'm going to be flying at than I do anything else. I actually don't fly at 400 feet, but there's nothing that high I need to see. Yeah. I can understand if you're playing around, looping around or something, but I don't do that.
You don't need to be above 50 feet in Florida.
150 feet is about what I fly at. If you want to see what you're looking at, for Christ's sakes, 400 feet isn't helping you any.
No, it's not.
Definitely not.
Especially when you're trying to spy on your
see the Atlantic. Hey, there's the Gulf Coast over there. Okay.
BMAC, what's up, buddy?
It's funny you mentioned FPV and stupid, so I won't mention the fact that a week ago I put my tiny hawk in the neighbor's pool for 3 hours. I won't go there.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Just spying in your neighbor's pool again, right?
No, it's the same one. I sent it over the roof, and by the way, it wouldn't take a dry out, Mitch. I got the motors to start, but it wouldn't do nothing. So I sent it over the roof where I knew I shouldn't have been. It lost signal and just kept right on going.
B-Mac, here's my advice to you. Next time, tear it apart. Just take the canopy off and put conformal coating over all the electronics, and then when it dries out, you won't have to worry about it.
Well, here's the thing, though, man.
Nothing conductive.
This thing is a $100 drone. It's a toy.
Don't hate.
It's time for an upgrade.
It's $100. You don't have to get back, and you can't sell it to somebody else for 75 or 50.
Man, if I get that thing running, I'm still going to use it.
Man, look at Chris Hope. He got the Tiny Hawk too. How was it? 2 months later, he's building his own 7-inch.
Listen, this is what happens.
Too.
This is what happens, and I warned everybody about this. When you get into FPV, all of a sudden, your rigs that you fly GPS with will start having a shelf life. The next thing you know, your skill set will get so good that you realize you don't need your GPS drone except for very certain things.
2 different animals.
Yeah, Chris still flies his DJI because his son drives all the time.
Yeah.
Well, no, he does. Everybody starts off doing that. They all start off continuing to fly GPS. Ah! No!
Did you drop your phone? But anyway, he uses his Phantom 4 for his sunset.
It looks like, is that his
sunrise,
phone?
sunset.
Thought you dropped your phone in the water there, Dan. No audio.
Can't hear you.
Nope.
Yeah, you sound better that
in the
way.
water, I guess.
Hey, Ray.
How you doing, Brian? How's everything out in Texas?
Oh, it's raining. Look at the rain. Holy cow. Yeah.
Damn.
Welcome to Florida.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Oh, man.
It's raining over there, but it's not raining here yet.
No.
No. That's probably why he headed for the car and dropped the phone.
Well, we lost your audio, Dan. Can't hear you.
Yep.
Jim, how could you have 4 dislikes?
Right.
What the hell's up with that?
Well, that was probably me ranting about politics.
Actually,
I can draw dislikes so fast. I'll pull every liberal out of the closet so fast that their head will spin.
Mitch, I loved how you started last Thursday's show. I'm not going to go into politics, and for the next hour, all I heard was politics.
I try not to because I honestly try to avoid it. I haven't watched the news at all. The only clue I've gotten to what's going on is from thumbnails on YouTube while I'm trying to avoid politics because it's just disgusting. It's so disheartening to see this happening in a country like ours.
Chris Hope just came in the chat. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. My ears were burning. You know?
Yep. He heard us talking about him.
Hey, Jim, I think you'll find a lot of that comes from me openly talking about other people as well.
Agent K is here, too. How you doing, buddy?
I don't care.
I know you don't. That's why I said what I said.
I have certain people blocked, and that's the way that goes. I can't see them in chats. They can't annoy me, and my life goes on. Magically goes on.
Did you hear that France has its own Facebook?
Yeah, Parlor or whatever it is.
No, it's called Me We.
Oh.
I thought that was a joke.
I think it is.
It's MIOUI. Me We.
Rick Halliburton.
Is it really?
No.
Is that a joke?
Rick, you're only feeling okay?
I don't get the me we. I didn't get the damn monkey joke you told yesterday.
Monkey.
Oh, Mitch, you want to explain to Jim?
You know what I'm talking about?
What a monkey is?
See,
good joke you told yesterday. Hard.
Oh, yesterday where?
Ray understood the joke. I didn't get it. My monkey he says, say it again, Art.
Okay. There's this 12-year-old girl. She comes running out of the bathroom to her high school age sister saying, "Oh, goody, I got hair on my monkey." And her older sister says, "Oh, that's nothing. My monkey is eating bananas now."
Now I get it.
Everybody gets it from me.
That's a. Well, hey, okay.
Is that a tampon joke?
Hey, Jim,
No.
Jim. Some guys aren't. Some guys have, and some guys don't. Extra skin alubi, and when you pull that back, you call that what? Like peeling a banana?
Oh.
What do you think's being inserted up there, banana wise?
Especially in France.
Yeah, they don't shave.
So Brian, are you still doing your walks in the park?
Every day.
There?
Yeah, every day.
No, I mean you're doing a video on it.
No, well, my buddy just came back, so I might get back into that.
Okay.
And I've got one sitting in the pipe, and it's 6 weeks old now. And I was wondering, it was like summer back then. I wonder if I should even put it up. So I don't know.
Yeah, you should. I got a kick out of them.
Yeah, it's already episode 2. But yeah, Fred's back. So
Where did Fred go?
he went on a 7-week tour of the country. Man, he went all over the place.
Did he have an RV?
No, he's got a Lexus, just a little bitty sports car. Midlife crisis thing or old man crisis thing, whatever you want to call it. He's got family in Ohio and Virginia, and went to North Carolina.
They're big people in Ohio.
Yeah.
Mitch, he went and voted in all the bad states.
Hey, Jim, pull up a radar in my area right now and show it on your screen. I think we're getting tropical storm life at the moment.
Is that ETA thing going on there, Dan?
What?
Yeah.
Is that ETA going on right here?
It's like my truck is rocking right now because of how hard it's blowing. So check radar. I can't do it on my phone. Look for Temple Terrace.
I saw a good newscast this morning.
Yeah,
The
you got a big
reporter
orange line
was
now.
being dragged around in the floodwaters of Broward County in a kayak.
Really?
Yep. That's how she was going to do her interviews.
Wow, this is insane.
That's some wicked looking stuff.
Philippines is getting hit with Typhoon Ulysses.
Oh yeah, it's like sitting right over you.
I know. It's getting crazy outside right now.
You see it, Dan?
Hold on a sec, show it. Oh yeah, that's what I said, man. We're getting pummeled right now at the moment.
Yeah, it's one of those bands, but there's not a ton of rain from this thing.
No, that storm is still way out. It's over Cuba.
Yeah, if you look at this, you can see that the storm is still way south of Florida. That's just kind of a rogue band coming across.
Right.
Now you can see
The storm is out over near Key West right now.
if I had a $29 camera, you could see that Dan is directly across from where I live in Palm Bay.
Yeah.
This friggin' camera. I hate this Brio.
Yeah, so there you go, that big red blob. That's what I'm feeling the effects of.
And we've had the rain and the wind for 3-4 days now. And trust me, it's 95% humidity right now.
It's been
Right.
2 weeks, Jim. We haven't had a decent day in 2 weeks between. It's the weather has been horrible here.
I don't understand it. But why is it just sitting there? I read it was supposed to be moving at 14 miles an hour, for God's sakes.
Right.
Go hit Louisiana already.
Now, tomorrow morning here, it says, Jim, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have 10, 11 mile an hour winds. So I'll see if it looks dry. I may actually go out and try to fly tomorrow.
Man, I hope it doesn't come in too crazy, bro. I got my personal trainer in the morning.
Huh?
No, it's not supposed to get up your way till like Thursday. It's creeping along very slow.
I got a 24-year-old hottie chick for a personal trainer, so if this deters that workout session, I'm going to be mad. There's
I was going to say, does she bring?
nothing better than a chick in yoga shorts.
The magic beads.
Yeah, does she bring her own oil? Do you have to supply that?
No, I'm supplying it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to ask why you have a personal trainer.
Well, Dan's trying to condition his midsection and lower groin area.
Surgery.
I understand that.
TMI.
Surgeries, I bet, right?
No, he's had so many surgeries and hernias.
Well, that's what I mean. You need some. It's a part of the rehab, I'll bet.
No, actually, they haven't given me any rehab orders. I just know that those muscles down there need to definitely be worked properly. So I'm doing it out of personal necessity. I think it needs to happen.
Look at Mitch smiling. He's thinking, get a girlfriend, man.
Yeah.
I have one. It doesn't change the fact that my personal trainer is extremely sexy.
Oh, is her name Helga? Oh, I make you feel good.
Her name is Filona. How about that?
Even better.
Filona.
For real?
Filona?
Filona. She's Russian or something.
Oh no!
Okay.
Jesus. She a Russian bride?
Oh no, I don't think she's the mail order bride.
You eat this; it'll make you strong.
She's definitely she's in shape, dude. She is a sexy piece of work.
Pictures, man. We need pictures. No talk.
I got you. Where's Adrian?
Oh, I don't know.
There's nothing better, dude, than a chick with abs.
You know,
penis.
They get 4 million views on YouTube. Well, they don't have to do anything. They just sit there and exercise.
Right.
Or have
because everybody's
staring
at their butt. Yeah. They're physique-ish. You've been trained since birth, gentlemen, to like it, so that's why they get so many views.
You were trained since birth. You were born that way.
Yeah.
It's built in.
But Mitch, wait, it's an option now. Don't you know that?
Yeah. You can tell them anything you want to tell them. But, you can't change programming.
They're trying.
I know they are.
You know, I knew this girl. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyway, you know when they say you're gay because your brain makes you gay or something. Yeah. Well, she was gay for a while, didn't like it, and is married with children now. So.
Oh, okay.
That threw my whole theory of.
Hashtag testing phase in college.
Yeah, right. That whole argument goes out the window with me when I see that crap.
Dude, every chick ever that goes to high school or college has kissed another girl.
They call that experimenting. I've experimented, they say.
Right. Yeah. Dudes do not say stuff like that, and they don't experiment with other dudes.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
We were very close in our fraternity. In our sorority.
No.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to
draw the line.
I'm a homophobe. I'm proud to admit it.
I'll stay a lesbian.
Nor have I ever had a desire or a thought that leaned in that direction.
No.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yes, there is. Shut up.
Let's just say,
remember the old Seinfeld episode? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's just say Mitch is flame retardant.
Exactly. In fact, I got to tell you this story. When I was growing up, I didn't even know there was such a thing. I mean, I was a teenager. We were never subjected or exposed to this kind of stuff. People that were gay, they kept it to themselves. I get in the army, and I get stationed over in Germany. So I'm like 21 years old, and I'm heading into. I take the train into Frankfurt. We get into the Frankfurt at about 2:00 in the morning, and I got my duffel bag and my uniform, and I got to go to the bathroom in the Frankfurt train station.
Oh no!
I know where this is going.
Listen, no, seriously. So I'm standing up at the urinal,
minding your own business,
minding my own business, and this guy next to me puts his arm around my shoulder,
buddy.
And I tell you what. It was a two-way move. I turned toward him, hit him, and pissed on him at the same time. It was a beautiful thing. And that's a true story. That's the first time in my life I was ever even aware
play with my
that there was guys that were like that. how naive did I grow up? Huh?
I wouldn't have known what the hell he was doing either.
Yeah.
Oh,
They show
Mitch
him his
knew.
Datsun.
And
Mitch
that's
knew.
where they hang out in the train stations in the middle of the night.
They walked in to touch
some
your sponge.
spatzel?
Yeah, they walked in to touch your sponge, Stooker.
You know, whatever they do, he got hit and pissed on at the same time. he ran away, man.
You want,
I gotta go
play
with this.
my Katzenflügel?
Do you want to pet my monkey?
You know what's even better, dude? If he had been like, yes, golden shower me. You like it?
Well, if you liked it, yeah.
You like it rough, huh? Very nice.
Yeah.
That was my first introduction to.
I am more than happy to say I've never been introduced to it, and
No,
let's keep it that way, boys.
that's my worst, dude. To be just sitting there peeing in a stall, and then 4 dudes walk in, and you're that guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like no, peeing on peas, just flying everywhere. Dicks are swinging. You know, nobody knows what's going on. Punches are being thrown. I'm good, man.
Hell no. I could just see Mitch in that bathroom.
I never forgot that. I mean, it's like yesterday. That's something you just never forget.
I know. I believe that.
I generally don't go around hitting people. I mean, it shocked the shit out of me. I was,
I bet it did.
you know, as I was coming around, I'm screaming, "What the hell?" You know?
I'm trying to take a pee, for Christ's sake. This is not an invitation.
That's not my thumb.
Good thing you weren't trying to take a dump.
Somehow, I'm gonna be the one that started this conversation. Trust me, I'm gonna be the bad guy that initiated this. Trust me. I'm gonna hear about this a week later as to who I pissed off because I started this conversation.
Well, you did. You did. We were talking about Davinci 17.
I said no, that is not the case. I said my workout partner's hot, and then somehow slongs and dongs got pulled into this. Man. You know what I'm saying?
So she's a lesbian male masseuse is what this came out as, right?
Yeah.
You know, I had to time my exit accordingly because I just didn't want to zip out once you guys started talking like this. But anyway, I'm going to go, guys.
Had enough of it.
Thank you for inviting me in, all right?
Thanks, Ray.
Have a good night, everybody, and everybody in the chat.
Take it easy, Ray.
What's the matter, Ray? You don't want me to slap your pee-pee?
Ray's coming down there in a couple of weeks. He's going to let y'all know how it is. Okay, y'all need to tighten it up and get real.
Yeah,
I'll tighten it up. Kegels.
An hour. Ray's a little over an hour south of me, so it's not quite as far as Dan is. Dan's 2.5 hours from.
Hey, don't hate.
Getting across the state is a major pain in the ass.
You got to go to Orlando. God, what a pain in the ass that is.
Jim, how long does that take?
I have to go an hour up to go 3 hours across.
Oh no.
Well, it didn't take me that long, man. I drove it. Look, it took 2 hours and 14 minutes both ways almost.
Hope is on its way.
2 hours.
Where's Chris?
Hey, Chris. How you doing, buddy?
Good evening, fellers. How y'all doing?
Chris, did you hear about Mitch's experience?
Chris, just a second ago.
I've heard Mitch's. I've heard Dan would like to have that same experience. Then Art told a bad joke.
Dan.
I never get his jokes.
Dan, it takes me 2 hours and 15 minutes to drive from my house here in Melbourne to my daughter up in Trinity.
Right.
Which is north of you.
I don't
So
even
it's
know
not
where
that
that is.
bad. And that's as long as there's no accidents or ridiculous crap on I-4. Otherwise,
Dude, I think I was only cruising at like 70 the whole time, man. I just put it on cruise control and just roll it. But then again, I have to give you this, Jim. I did it during the pandemic when travel was really low.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, there was no one on the highway.
There was nobody on the highway, so it was just cruise mode, dude, the whole way there and back.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Carlos. Yeah, normally you have to go up to, the 528 at least to get over to Orlando and then go back down
to Melbourne.
to Tampa.
I mean, you could go south to Vero Beach and go across 60, but that ends
two lanes.
Long,
2 lanes.
yeah, I know it. It takes a long time. The quickest way is to go north to the 528, over to the 417 south.
South 17
South
75 down.
You end up with $10 in tolls.
Yeah.
Just to get out of Orlando by the time you're done.
They added tolls just to call it the beach line.
Yeah.
Good one.
It used to be the B line.
Get an airboat and just go right across the state.
Now, Chris, I know that you're a man that has never traded in his man card for experimentation.
You're exactly right. It's not.
No wonder you get blamed for it, Dan.
It's still on my billfold.
He's been around farm animals.
He jumped in at the tail end of it. I mean, so we gotta keep the construct of the discussion, you know.
Dan, he's around farm animals a little bit, so just go like it. Okay?
Yeah.
Are there any sheep on that farm?
No sheep, just cows.
I had a guy. It's Marine Corps boot camp, Mitch, and I had a guy trying to convince me that he used to back pigs. He used to back pigs up to the fence. That's as close as I've ever come to anybody being gay. Was a dude trying to convince me he was doing farm animals.
That is way beyond gay, dude. That's way beyond gay.
Now, do you understand why your neighbor yells and screams at you that you're a pervert?
Right, Jim.
Dude, come on.
It's not me. He's telling the story.
You put it on YouTube that your buddy likes that kind of stuff.
He's not my buddy.
I hope not.
He's in boot camp. Listen, you had a bunch of people. This is the funniest thing I ever saw in my life. We had 120 people join Marine Corps boot camp. I think 60 graduated. You used to get fat people thinking they were going to go in and it was going to be a weight reduction program.
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
They throw you in what's called C platoon, and if you don't lose the weight in order to become whatever the military specified weight is, then you get discharged.
Right.
Booted out.
Boom.
C platoon. That's the fat platoon. They used to threaten you with it too, if you were heavy.
Jim, I'm down to 44% battery. I got to conserve a little battery life, man. Thanks for having me in, gentlemen.
All right, Dan. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, it was fun.
Dan.
Hey, bro. I'm just doing my hobby, having fun right now.
Way to go. Stay dry.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. Toodles.
See you.
See you, Daniel.
Later, Dan.
Carlos, back from the sky. When does Art tell a good joke? At least you understand them.
So, Chris, you sent me a video. What was that of?
Stabilized mode, air mode, or horizon mode, and air mode.
How do you like flying the air mode?
Man, you got to pay attention now.
You do, but you feel more like you're really flying.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're flying.
Because like what? If you're not pushing the stick forward, it'll just drop out of the sky. What? Talk to
you fly in acro mode. That's right stick is where you put it. That's where it stays. There ain't no coming back to center.
Like flying an airplane. You pitch the nose down and you put the stick back in the center. The nose stays pitched down until you level it off. And if you hold the stick down and don't let it back, that thing will just roll right over. It'll just keeps going. You know, in other words, the right stick is just like an airplane. You fly, it feels just
but I thought you limited that.
No, not with acro mode. You don't. No. Acro mode allows you to have full control of that thing, and it just stays wherever you leave it. You don't. It never levels itself off.
So you got video of doing that, Chris? You want to play that?
I just sent it to Mitch here. I can. Oh, it's about a 2-minute. Y'all can watch it.
I thought I'd wait till you post. I thought I didn't want to make it public till you posted it.
It's not public yet. I haven't.
Well, you've seen a lot of videos of acro flying. Yeah. All my stuff, Jim, is acro.
I've seen the tumbling you were talking about.
Well, but that's how you fly. In other words, when you with stabilized mode, you have to hold the stick over to keep it banked.
There.
In acro mode, when you move the stick, it starts to roll until you center the stick again, and it'll keep rolling until you center the stick. So you basically establish your bank center the stick, and then move the stick the other way to level it off. Same thing with pitch. So you push the nose down a little bit and get the nose attitude down, and then center the stick.
So Carlos said if you let go of the sticks, the bird's going to fall.
It doesn't fall. It stays in the attitude that you left it. It may be flying level straight forward. It might be climbing. It's wherever you put it, it stays.
That's how I ended up in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Because I've got a pitched roof 60 degrees. Okay. I said, I bet you I can get it over and then just flip it around and come right back. I got it over and it was gone.
You lost you fail safe, did you? You lost your radio, huh?
Lost the radio. But like I said, I've played with that thing now for 4 months. For $100, come on.
Yeah, you got your money.
You trying to say you got your money's worth out of it?
What I'm trying to say is, Mitch, you need to show up on my live stream Friday and help me get a new system going, because I need to get it from scratch. Goggles, transmitter, and a bird.
Well, I got a live stream on Sunday. That's the whole purpose of it.
Chris just bought that 2 months ago, and now he's already making his own 7-inch FPVs.
Yeah, we've got.
Dan said it best. It's addictive as hell.
I like what Back from the Sky said. There's no flying and playing a ukulele at the same time with FPV. Yeah. I wonder who he's talking about, Dennis.
Yeah. Well, when you're flying DJI, you basically just driving it around. Let go, it just sits right where you left it.
See, now, Art, that's kind of what I'm looking at getting, something a little bit bigger, more stable.
Is that a 5-inch?
5-inch.
That's a 5-inch, yeah.
Yep.
It's hard to tell on screen.
Well, you can forget stable, Brian.
Well, there's degrees, The good thing about that tiny hawk is every time I get it into a tree, I got a 30-foot gopher pole. I was just able to knock it right out, and it didn't hurt nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that, when I do that, that's the other thing too. If I get something more expensive, I'm going to have to be more careful with it. I can't do it in the front yard where all the trees are. I got to go to a park right around the corner. But still.
How did you lose it so close? You said the signal's so close. You said you just went over the roof.
Well, you probably didn't lose the radio control. You lost your video feed to the goggles.
Lost the video feed, and it said, I saw something that said warning. There was just no picture there, and it said some sort of a warning. And I said, okay, it's gone. But the thing about it is, it took me an hour to find, the pitch on the roof is 6 degrees on both sides. So I go into my backyard, and I got trees everywhere in the backyard. It's nowhere to be found. It flew over the trees and into my neighbor's pool.
Oh man!
Man.
How did you ever get to the point to look in the neighbor's pool?
Let me, because like I said, I've been out there for an hour, and I was going to let me look in the pool, and it was floating at the top of the pool, which was really cool. But I don't get along with that neighbor.
Oh,
really?
So here's what I did. I took my pool net, which has about a 15-foot reach, and her pool was circulating. I said, "Oh, just wait till it comes around." As soon as it got close enough to me, I just get it, fished it out.
With your 30-foot gopher pole? Chris has a 40-foot one now.
No, not with the gopher pole. I had a pool net. Our
Whose 3D printer are we watching here?
Oh, it's probably Mel's.
It is Mel's.
Yeah.
Mel.
Howdy, boys.
Are you making another iPad holder?
Yeah. This one I hope will fit the iPad mini.
So, Mel, could you explain that joke to Jim?
What joke?
The monkey joke. I didn't get the monkey joke.
You didn't get the monkey joke?
No. He told it again, though. Everyone else gets it but me.
You ain't missing nothing. Now that's funnier than the joke.
But
Yep. Oh my goodness.
I'm wondering, Brian, how the hell you even saw that damn thing in the sky? Man, that Tiny Hawk. I've seen Mitch show his little Taro 89s and stuff. I would never find these damn things.
I don't let it get far from me. I never did.
They're tough to find when you crash them. That you have to keep that's why it's good to have a goggle DVR, because you can play back the DVR and watch and actually see where the thing, what you flew over and where it went in, and that gets you fairly close. Then if you got a loud beeper on it, that'll take you right to it.
I learned early on to keep that thing pretty close to me because it didn't do well when it got more than, I don't know, 100 feet away. It got really bad video, and I said, and all I wanted to do was practice moves real fast. Hell, I didn't even put it in acro mode until like a month ago, because everybody said you should start in that, but I didn't.
Was that that was 2 or 1? Was it
the one.
Yeah, the one maxed out at 25 milliwatts on the video transmitter, which isn't going to get you real far on that thing.
Right. I kept it within about 50 feet. 50 feet was always okay. So, 50 feet in each direction. So it was good enough for the front yard. And that's where I generally kept it.
You need to go to that park and fly.
I think I was watching Dan drone pool the other day. Jesus, he's got a string of power lines around him.
Yeah.
And he was flying at was it a Hudson? I want to say a Hudson, but it wasn't. Something like that. I don't see how he got the nerve to get up and go out above his house. I mean, if you've seen any of his videos, he's surrounded by power lines. I've never seen a concoction like that. A cacophony of power lines going around. We've got them on poles that go straight.
Yeah.
They seem to be going from across the street with him and all this other stuff.
Hang on, I got to write that down. How do you spell that? Cacophony?
Cacophony. Yes.
I got to use that. That's good.
Yeah. Well, you're from up there where he's from. You ought to not have to worry about spelling it.
Right up there with precipice and
precipice and
bona fide.
Undulating.
Precipice. Precipice.
Precipice. You're on the precipice of falling off the damn cliff.
Like an
I kind of like the word epiphany. I like the word epiphany. That's a great word.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Hitch, I did learn something today.
What's that?
I changed my VTX. Carlos maybe reminded you. I changed it from 25 to 600 the other day through the email, me and you.
Yeah.
And it does. I saved it, but it doesn't save it. It just saves it for that way you got the power on it.
No, well, it should. If you go back into beta flight, you see what it's set to.
Yeah, it changes it back to 25 because I had to go in today and bump up to 500 again.
So when you go into beta flight and change it to the default power in beta flight, see if that solves the problem.
I bet that does. I was thinking I was going to ask you that, so that's where I'll go next.
The smart audio does work, correct? It is working.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I can see everything on the OSD.
And you got yourself. You had asked you about the antennas. You got some new Fat Sharks.
No, they'll be here. Supposed to be here Friday.
What kind of module did you get for them?
I have not got one yet.
Yeah, you got to get a module. Now you can get the one that I'm using is the TBS Fusion. It's about $130.
There you go.
Holy cow!
Yeah, well, and then the Crossfires. The Crossfires are $150, $160. Now you can get modules for $30 too. The difference is some of the modules have diversity where they have 2 antennas and it picks the strongest signal. The more expensive modules actually mix frames, and create a frame with the best of each antenna. And that's what the TBS and the IRC Crossfire.
What was that R9 you had?
That's a control transmitter. We're talking about the video feed now to the goggles.
Because I was on 25 watt when I flew this afternoon. I got through. I said, "Well, I'm gonna go back and see where my videos." And I thought it was at 500. And I said, "Man, this thing's sketchy. It should be clear."
You can tell, can't you? It's not hard to tell. Yeah.
Yeah, it's at 25 for sure.
But I'm proud as hell of you, Chris, man. You
Oh,
it's
it's
just
a blast.
going at it with no holds barred.
So why didn't his stay at 500 then?
Yeah. Well,
He changed it from his goggles with control stick inputs, which you can do.
Yeah.
Through something called smart audio, Jim. And it's a long explanation, but it allows you to change settings on the flight controller.
I did, Carlos.
And through the flight controller to the video card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought I saw you doing a bump up on the video power, like you're talking about, from 25 milliwatts going up to 200 or something like that. That's how I'm saying. I thought Chris was saying it doesn't stay there.
Well, if you change it in your goggles, Chris, you have a number of choices to get back out. You have save and exit.
Correct.
Exit. Or
And
save and reboot.
I've done both of them, Mitch, and it defaults back to 25.
It still does. All right. Well, you can try to change it in Betaflight to make 600 the default and see if
watch your show.
600, they don't have to be changing anything.
Yeah.
Hey,
Jim,
yes. I gotta get going here. It's getting close to bedtime here. So, thanks for having me on, and everyone, have a good night. Mitch, good to see you. Brian.
That's no joke, Art.
Good to see you, Chris.
Take care, Art.
And Mel, good to see you. And everybody in the chat, Carlos and all those guys. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Art. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
It's funny you say that, Mel. Best Buy now has the Phantom 4 V2 in stock.
Really?
They hadn't in two years. Now they've got them. I seen today.
How much are they? They're expensive.
$16.99, $1,700.
Okay.
That's not bad because they were 2,100 something back in the day.
Or 1,600. I can tell you real quick.
They're selling the Mavic 2 Pro for that. $15.99 or something.
Yeah, but the Phantom has a mechanical shutter on it, though, man.
I know that. What I'm saying is that's not much more than the Phantom than the Mavic 2. It's only $100 more.
Yeah, depending on which one you get, it's even less.
When I originally bought the Flymore, it was $1,786. I want to say $1,786.
I think it's less than the Pro, but more than the Zoom at that price. I think.
Have you noticed our Best Buy, Mitch? They don't have much on the shelf anymore as far as drones.
No, when I picked up the Mini 2, I had to drive down to Vero Beach to get it. They didn't have them in stock here. But I took it back here. But I did take it back to the local one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
No. When I got my first Phantom 4, I got it outside, funny as hell. Got it out in the yard, let it go, take up its 10 feet, and then it immediately took off to the left and went down the street and crashed. Put it back in the box, drove back to Vero and said, here, it don't work. Give me another one. They had another one.
1,600, Mel.
You would fly down the street over your neighbor's house, over a swimming pool while his wife was swimming. Is that how you got started with that guy?
No, this one, it actually took a left and went down.
Oh, okay.
In this section of the neighborhood where Lightbridge hates it. If my Lightbridge only goes like 700 feet to the left, yet I can go for miles out the other direction. It's crazy.
Carlos, you're awful hard on poor Art, man. You're awful hard on him.
I hope he can fly his 5-inch. I hope he can. He'll have fun if he does.
Well, I won't let him fly that thing because I won't tell him how to bind the receiver on it until I think he's ready. And he's not ready yet.
I think it would be dangerous, but hey, that's just me. I wouldn't want to be around him. That'd be a salad maker.
Man, you gotta start somewhere, guys.
Well, he's got himself a tiny hawk. And he can, gets a nice day, take that thing outside and actually fly 5 packs through it.
He's got a good area to fly in, something like that. I've seen where he lives.
Start to learn. You got to put the time in. Hell, I mean, I flew 5 packs in my house today, and that's getting old. It's just not any fun. But if you can't fly outside, you fly somewhere. Just with the little tiny hawk, at least keep your hands on the sticks.
You're actually bored of it now. You're bored of the little boys, aren't you?
Flying around the house. No, flying around. No, I like the little drones, but flying around the house, you're limited to a particular.
I know. We got those telos. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love flying it outside.
You can only go around, through the kitchen, around the living room, and back so many times.
Yeah.
I can fly that 6-inch. I can fly that Tyro from one end of my place to the other in probably in about 10 seconds.
Oh, they're fast, aren't they?
That's cruising, man.
Oh yeah.
It's the dangest thing I ever seen. I'm sitting there, I think it flew over my head. I got it. I'm working on it, getting it a little bit lower. About treetop or a little bit lower, so you can see things a little better. Yeah. And that dude come over top of my head a while ago, and I said, "Man, this is crazy."
Yeah, you got to be careful. They can do some damage.
It is. It's beautiful sound.
Oh, did it hit you?
No.
Oh.
The noise it makes is just because when you got it wound up, it's a sweet sound.
Yeah. Well, you're hooked.
Oh, you're big.
I'm fast hooked.
And for $120, that's a hell of a drone, isn't it?
Too.
Are you talking about your big boy or
the big one?
Yeah.
The 119. Yeah, that's 100. That's where they get the numbers. Is the price. The 119, $119.
$119
plus the receiver. You put the receiver was what, $15, and that was
I think I paid 16. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing about that Tyro, and it wasn't even hard because I've soldered before, but soldering the ESCs to the board was the only solder there was.
Yeah. And then you had to solder the little wires to the little XM receiver.
His wife came in or something. Yeah, wasn't that backwards? That board was backwards on him or something?
Yeah, he had put it in upside down because they don't tell you. They don't give you instructions. And on the ESCs, they have pads on both sides. So you can't tell. You could solder to the bottom or the top. It doesn't matter. And it's very easy to get it upside down. And especially if you're following Joshua Bardwell's directions, and he got it upside down, which is what happened. So it wasn't even Chris's fault. He was, and I don't imagine Bardwell clarified that fact, and probably Chris wasn't the only one that got stuck that way.
I heard you saying that. What would you be laughing like? That's step 12, and you don't find out you screwed up until you're on step 15.
Yeah. It's true. He was all done. We were in beta flight checking if the motor direction was right, and it turned out they were in the wrong place.
Yeah, step 12. He was all ready to step 172, Jim.
Yeah, he was ready to almost.
That was funny.
It was funny, wasn't it?
Because Bardwell made his mistake and caught it at the end. And I went back and read again, Mitch, at the comments. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, no doubt you weren't the only one, of course.
There's a bunch of people that did the same thing. And but a couple of them, instead of taking it apart like I did, they did it in ILI. They changed it.
ILI, yeah, but that's such a pain in the ass because you have to do resource remapping, and that is tedious and time consuming, and it's very easy to get it wrong. I've remapped a couple, and better to have the default mapping, especially because you would have every time you went and upgraded the firmware on that thing, you'd have to remap it again. This way it's default. So plus it's a learning experience. This thing is supposed to be a learning experience.
I've had it apart 5 times now.
Good. Well, good. It won't be the last either.
took it back down. Well, I've had to. I guess that's aluminum wire on the motors. Is that aluminum?
I don't know what the hell it is. Those wires on those Tyro motors, unfortunately, was a terrible wire.
I've had to break. I broke two of them just by moving it around from point A to B.
Really?
And you go to fire it up. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, when you get into the more expensive motors, when you start building your own, they all have silicone insulation wires, much nicer. But that's been a sore point on these Tyros. But for $120, where are you going to get a box full of crap like they send you?
A box full.
It's just a ton of stuff,
And
including a little replica of an assault rifle cut out of carbon fiber. Did you get one of those?
Is that what that? It looked like a small wrench to me.
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to hold the motor bells while you're tightening the props.
Okay.
It looks like a little assault rifle.
Mitch, what do you think?
What are we looking at?
Two or 3-inch FPV.
Iyashine Novice racing drone, ready to fly. 2.4. Oh, it comes with goggles and everything, huh?
So I'm saying, do you think? Cause I don't know about because I think I'd like to get a pair of Fat Sharks, that way you get that out of the way.
Well,
So
I would if you don't have a bunch of quads and you don't have a bunch of stuff at this point, I would go for the digital stuff, man. The DJI stuff.
Well, wait a minute though.
That's where I'm headed. Pretty damn quick.
Yeah, but isn't the digital more expensive? I didn't want to throw a bunch of money at this yet.
Well, if you buy a pair of Fat Shark goggles and $139 module for it and 2 antennas, you're up $500-600 already for the goggles, and that's what the DJI goggles cost.
Okay, so this is looking better.
Yeah, I mean,
this looks like it could be the next one.
But you're better off getting yourself a Radio Master T16S for $140.
Yeah, I've seen those.
16 channel or a Jumper T18 like Chris has got. You're getting one of those kind of radios.
See, and that's just it though. I don't know anything about these. What I'm more concerned about with something like this is, the Tiny Hawk was limited for range. Where would I find out what's the specs on this so I can find out like a range or any of this stuff? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, there's all kinds of specs. You want to know what's the maximum power on the video transmitter?
Yeah.
How far it can fly?
More or less. Can it make it over the roof?
Yeah,
for Christ's sakes, he wants to get out of his neighbor's pool.
Now this is a small little 135 millimeter quad. This is not a big quad. It's got two bladed props, no prop guards, and it comes with a proprietary. It's got the Iyashine, looks like the 800D goggles.
I mean, that's what I had anyway.
35 millimeters is how many inches?
With your box goggles, they're okay. What kind of goggles do you have now?
That's an 8-inch drone.
No, it's a 3-inch.
3-inch, yeah.
I said, I just asked Google. Google lied to me.
No, Mitch, all I had for goggles was the one that came with that Tiny Hawk. So,
well, they'd still work with this.
You think? That'd be
cool.
The
goggles would, yeah.
But this looks better.
Well, it does, but it's still not. They're still.
See, here's the thing. Until I get comfortable enough to where I'm not going to sail this thing into my neighbor's yard, I'm not going to go throwing down a whole bunch of money at stuff. So this might work.
But no, I like his question though. How do you know how far we're talking about RSSI signal, right?
Well,
with the Tiny Hawk, you could tell by the video breakup.
It depends on a drone like this. I can't tell you how far the radio is going to work because I don't know. I don't know about that. That's a proprietary transmitter. It's not a standard type of FPV transmitter. Now, if you had a jumper or a radio,
wait a minute, right there alone, I would say don't get it, Brian, because then you don't have anybody to help you.
You
can't call Mitch and say,
I would
help me fix it.
The hell I can't.
You don't know this one.
I don't know that how to make that transmitter work. Or
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be worried about that kind of stuff yet.
Well,
I would be more concerned about being able to solder and which I can solder. I can train board that way.
Well, that's a pre-built quad right there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
And it comes with a receiver, and you want to find out what kind of receiver is it? Is it a FR Sky? Is it what has it got in it? Somewhere there's going to be some specs on that.
It's got your ER8 transmitter there, Mitch.
It comes with all that stuff in a bag and everything. So
yeah.
Stuff, yeah. But scroll down and find the specs somewhere on it. This description.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay, can y'all read that?
I can't read it because it's too small. But
new toothpick F4 flight controller, Mitch.
Yeah, that's fine.
Internal.
Okay, so who's
Free Sky D8 D16 receiver.
What is it? What kind of receiver?
Brian is controlling the website.
Hit your control key and the scroll wheel on your mouse, and it'll blow it up.
D8 D16 receiver. All right, so it's got a Free Sky receiver, dual antennas. So it's got an XM Plus if it's got dual antennas. How much is the? Find me the number of milliwatts in the VTX video transmitter.
Right there. Hold on. VTX and DVR output power 25 to 400 milliwatts switchable.
Yeah, 400 is okay. 400 is enough to get you further than you're probably going to fly that thing. So that would probably work okay.
That's what I'm thinking. That's
but you're probably not going to want to use that transmitter with much of anything else,
Yeah.
Especially.
Well, like I said, I'm not ready to go full money pit yet.
But yeah, I mean, look, that's $180 to $100 set of goggles you got there. Probably a $30 transmitter, and the other $110, $15 for all the rest of the stuff. So it's not that bad. Is it brushless motors? I would imagine it's brushless, or is it brushed motors?
You don't want brushed. I know that much.
You really don't want brushed motors. You want brushless
motors. Doesn't say.
Brushless.
And is it running Beta Flight, or is it running Silverware, or one of the proprietary types of?
I should have opened up that site. I didn't know.
It's not giving me anything for the software for Beta Flight.
No, you want Beta Flight because
I know that. Thanks to you, I know how to work Beta Flight now.
Cool.
It does come in handy.
How come when I have my show on Sunday night, nobody asks me any questions? When I come onto your show, turns into the FPV workshop.
Because on Sunday night I'm halfway hammered, dude. I can barely Monday. It ain't happening.
Don't buy cheap. Sometimes you get what you pay for, Carlos says.
Yeah, I know, and I agree with what Carlos said. But on the last cheap, on that Tiny Hawk, I think I did pretty good.
Well, Eachine stuff is okay.
And it is a brushless motor, by the way. So
it's a brushless. Yeah, that would be an okay quad to learn on. I mean, it's a next step up from a Tiny Hawk.
The next question is
what I'm looking for.
The next question is, do you need your glasses to use the goggles? And if you do, will those goggles fit over your glasses?
They will. Yeah, the 800Ds are box goggles.
No, these are readers. He's looking at.
These are readers.
That's the 800D. That's they'll fit. They are.
These are 125s, right? When I use the goggles for the Tiny Hawk, I found out I needed 325, and I got these little bitty 325s, and it worked great. So I'll just keep using those.
Yeah, but yeah, the goggles that come with that kit will fit over your glasses as well as the DJI goggles.
I hope so. I'll be losing another one.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Another nice thing about that EV, the 800D, is the whole eye cover piece actually comes off, and you end up with a little monitor screen.
Oh yeah.
The antennas and the receiver and the battery all built into it. And a lot of guys just put them on a tripod and use them as a ground station.
Huh.
So down the road, when you get your expensive goggles and you go out to the field to fly the thing, you set up the little ground station, and anybody can go over and take a look at it and watch see the feed from your quad.
Jody wants you to have prop guards.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Yeah. Prop guard. I got that little Sector 132 HGLRC with the about the same size as the one you're talking about, with the prop guards and with the DJI air unit and everything in it. And I paid less than $200 for that thing on sale.
I got notified, Chris.
That had the $180 DJI air unit in it, and it has the prop guards, and it had all that other stuff.
Mitch, when I get into the expensive stuff, I'll be coming to Florida, buddy. We'll be doing dinner.
All right.
Come on a Friday, because you ain't leaving till Monday.
At least, shit, I'm coming for the week, dude.
Well, I'll tell you what. Will any of you guys come down into this neighborhood?
Hey, Jim.
Oh, you posted your video, huh, Chris? Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got the warning.
Yeah,
Now, which one is that, Chris? Oh, all three modes. Okay.
Horizon mode, Horizon is a waste of time as far as I'm concerned. You either angle mode is useless outdoors, but I still fly it indoors. When you're flying through narrow doorways on a little tiny loop, it's much easier. But you'll find once you get a little comfortable, and I'm looking forward to taking a look at the video. Oh, here we go. So this is stabilized mode. So in this mode, you got to hold the stick forward like DJI. Right, Chris? Got to hold the stick forward. There's that acro mode. So you did a roll in acro mode. Very good. Did you pull the throttle at the top when you were going over?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Give it a little bump first. Pull the stick all the way back, because otherwise, when you're upside down and full throttle, you're pulling yourself down.
Oh, yeah. I did punch it before I flipped it. Yes.
And then pull it back. And then
I pull the throttle back.
Once you get past vertical and you start coming around, start adding it back in again. But that looked pretty good.
Low battery, yeah.
Flip.
Yeah.
You're doing all right, man.
I held it a little longer than I should have.
Another thing,
you got color up there.
Make sure you coordinate your turns a little with both sticks.
Yes. Yeah. I've had some people ask me about it, so I just made a quick little video with that.
I'll tell you what, you're doing better than I ever did after 2 months. That's for damn sure. So good on you.
He fell hard. When he fell for this, he fell hard.
Yeah.
I've been $20 to death in the last month.
What's that little a bike track there, Chris?
No, that's the pasture. The boy mowed it, and I guess his brush hog dug it in.
Oh, okay. Air mode, which is the one?
Air mode is acro.
Okay.
Yep, it's a lot of fun. That's 3 packs right there.
You did good, man. Good for you. And you gain, the more you do it, the more you'll feel like you're actually putting it where you want it. You're not just following it around and reacting to it.
I doubt if I'll probably take off and stabilize Mitch just because but I'm for sure land and stabilized.
You'll find you won't take you long before that's actually will be a detriment to land in stabilized mode. You'll learn. Yeah, you'll learn, and you just throw it. You throw it in acro before you start. Give it a little throttle, push the stick forward, and establish a little bank, and it'll just take off and head right on out.
Thank you, Jim.
No problem, buddy. Glad you put it up.
Good deal. Good deal. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodnight to you all.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut loose as well.
Me too.
Oh, okay. So we'll just end it, I guess. All right. Anyway, good to see you guys. I actually came in here, was going to just yell and scream about politics for 5 minutes, piss everybody off, and then leave. But I ended up sticking it out. So had a good time.
Yeah, we had fun.
Had a good time. It's what I needed to get my mind off all this crap. I picked a hell of a day to run out of cigars. That's all I can say.
Oh, really?
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I ran out of cigars yesterday. And I said, and the cigar guy, the guy that owns a cigar shop here that I buy, is a Canadian liberal that just pisses me off so bad. Just to go in there. He has CNN on the TV all the time. He's always trying to convince people not to vote for Trump. And so I ran out of cigars yesterday, and I just said, F him. I am not going to give him 10 cents of my money. I will buy and then I said, well, maybe this would be a nice opportunity to actually quit. I don't need, what do I?
Yeah.
$200, $300, $400 a month on cigars very easily. It's a lot of money. And I don't think it's all that bad for me, but I know it ain't good for me. Let's put it that way. So I said, well, so you remember the line in Airplane where he says, I picked a hell of a day to
skip and glue.
Yeah. So meanwhile, it's raining, I can't fly. I'm bored out of my mind. I got no cigars to smoke. I'm pissed off at politics. I can't watch the news. And I said to myself, I picked a hell of a day to quit smoking cigars.
And I didn't realize how bad CNN was until I was watching their YouTube video. I was like, holy Christ, this is fake news.
It is. All right, guys. We'll talk some more about it, I guess.
Good night,
all right.
Good night, everybody. Thanks, Jim.
Take it easy, Mitch.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
The invite.
I'm just going to go ahead and shut
here,
the live feed off. Oh.
What is that?
Couple of hours. He's printing the.
Is that a 3D printer?
Yeah. He's doing the iPad holder.
Very cool.
You want to get a little bit closer look?
How many hours does that take to make it?
What kind of ink does it take?
Doesn't.
The plastic kind. I think that's so cool.
It is. Oh, I see what it is. Some dude made a holder for my iPad on my Mavic Air 2 that looks similar to that with a 3D printer.
Yeah,
that's exactly what that is. Except this one's for an iPad mini.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll fit. I don't know if it'll fit the tablet or not. I don't know if the tablet will fit in it or not. I can show you. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if I got any pictures. Let's see.
Look at that, hopping along. Doing the outside ridge. Then it moves over. So, yeah, that is, that's mesmerizing crap.
No, that's a computer working. That's amazing to me.
That's there's not even a computer hooked to that.
Oh, there's a chip there though, Mel. There's got to be.
It does have a motherboard in it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's G code and all that, right?
Yep. Damn it. I know I've got pictures of this thing because I put them up the other night. Image.
Oh,
let's see
all right.
Saved them.
I forgot to end the stream. I'm ending the stream.
Hey, Jim. All right, Jim. Take it easy, bud. I'll be up Friday.